So we got ourselves a brand new cartoon pilot that has exploded in popularity on the internet, that being The Amazing Digital Circus. It was created by Glitchproductions, the same studio behind another popular independent web series, Murderdrones. Taking place inside a digital world, the show involves a circus ran by Ringmaster Kane, who assigns activities for all of the inhabitants. The premise here reminds me of edutainment kids shows from the 2000s, from the CGI animation, the theme song, and the character designs. However, it becomes apparently clear that this pilot is a dark twist on these sorts of shows. We follow Pomni, who has been transported into this world with no memories aside from putting on a headset, right before ending up in there. Pomni, being the main character who's a new arrival in this world, serves as a great tool for introducing it to the audience, as we are all seeing it for the first time, just like her. Pomni then learns that all of the other characters were also transported here from the real world. Supposedly, there was no way out of the digital circus, and the pursuit of an exit can drive someone to insanity. Because of this, the majority of the cast had accepted their fates, and tolerates the break situation, just to keep a grip on their sanity, which is truly daunting. Kane then assigns a task for all the characters to complete, in order to ease Pomni into our new home. The assignment in question involves collecting a bunch of sentient objects, which is reminiscent to a plot of an entertainment show episode. However, there was a dark twist, as it's stated that the sole purpose of these activities is to merely stimulate the various occupants of this world, in order to prevent them from losing their minds. And that's the main appeal of this pilot, taking something familiar and nostalgic, and perfectly mixing it with horror elements. While it's by all means nothing new, The Amazing Digital Circus still manages to pull this off exceptionally well. There's also a great balance of dark comedy that keeps the viewers laughing until they're hit with the true severity of the situation facing the characters. The biggest threat to them is succumbing to madness, as not only do they lose their minds, but their digital bodies start to glitch, and the aftermath of that is becoming a monster that can cause other people to glitch just by making physical contact with them. Even worse, it has been indicated that many had already fallen to this fate, as seen when one is thrown into a space where they can't harm anyone. It's like the corrupted or shattered gems in Steven Universe. They're not dead, but are still left to suffer a fate worse than death. And that's not all there is, as at some point in this pilot, Pomni finds what appears to be an exit, only for it to lead to endless doors and rooms, which starts to drive her insane. She then finds herself in a place known as the Void, a space of pure nothingness that's been heavily implied to be the worst part of this world that you can end up in. While she does get rescued by Kane, it becomes clear that all of these events has taken its toll on her, and at the end, there was a slow zoom-in shot of her, as she struggles to cling on whatever's left of her sanity, and now has to live with the existential dread of being stuck in this messed up world for all of eternity. Also, side note, the music news in this scene goes unbelievably hard, and I love it. This pilot serves as a fantastic introduction to the premise, while perfectly delivering on the horror aspect. But there are also many other elements that work exceptionally well. One is the animation, which was phenomenal. The quality of the models and textures is through the roof, and the movements are smooth and fluid. The style of both an early 2000s computer game and an edutainment kids show that would air on the BCC during that time period is massively utilized, giving the pilot both style and substance. I especially love the opening that starts off looking like an old low-quality PC game, before smoothly transitioning to widescreen with the high-quality animation. There are also the glitch effects that look like actual computer errors. And finally, there are the character designs, and they're all great. Again, I could easily see them being part of the cast of a typical CGI animated edutainment show from the 2000s. And then we have the characters, starting with the main protagonist, Pomni, who's a sweetheart that must be protected at all costs. On the one hand, her initial reactions to the situation were hilarious, but at the same time, she comes across as so innocent that we all feel sorry for her, being subjected to all these horrors.
Okay, now I get it! This is a dream, right?
Kane is an energetic and charismatic host, whose enthusiasm makes for a neat contrast to the bleak circumstances that everyone is in.
You, my friend, stumbled into an incredible world of wonders, where anything can happen, except for swearing.
Plus, you can't tell if he's genuinely protecting the cast from the dangers that surround them, or a secret mastermind who's purposely keeping them trapped in the digital circus, which will create plenty of tension for any upcoming episodes that may come after this pilot. Next there's Jax, who is a comedic jerk that is written extremely well. I love this snarky a-hole, as he is perfectly hilarious.
Ladies first. No, wait, why would I say that?
Up next is Ragatha, and it seems that she, Pomni, and Jax are going to be the main trio that the series will follow, and she perfectly rounds out this ragtag group. In contrast to Jax, she comes across as much kinder and supportive towards Pomni,
Guys, don't be mean.
We've been stuck here for years.
gently trying to help her adjust to this world. There are also a couple other side characters, such as Subal, Gandalf, and Kinga. Even though they don't get much screen time in this pilot, they still make a strong impression on the audience, with their distinct personalities, and the humor that comes from their characterizations.
My comedy mask is broken again.
Ah! Oh! Gangle, you startled me.
Thus far in this review, I had sang the praises of this pilot, and frankly, I can't think of any major flaws. The premise, animation, comedy, and characters were all spot on, and the pacing felt just right, so it comes as no surprise that it has exploded in popularity on the internet. But of course, there has to be that section of people who just have to complain about it, due to the sole fact that it's popular. However, while I can empathize with this perspective to an extent, as I myself have been in situations where I didn't care for a piece of media that was being hyped up. Something being popular isn't a real argument. While overhype can hinder on a person's enjoyment of a piece of media, it is not an objective flaw that can actually ruin it. While it's fine if you don't enjoy something that's been hyped up, as you're not obligated to do so. However, if you're going to criticize it, you need to give actual arguments other than it's popular, as it's not fair. Overall, The Amazing Digital Circus is a phenomenal pilot. From the old school PC game and edutainment show style, the horror elements, crisp and smooth animation, hilarious comedy, and a lovable cast of characters, I say its popularity is well earned, and it should definitely become an official series. And that was my review of The Amazing Digital Circus pilot. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to give it a like, share, and comment. Also, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell for notifications. And if you're interested in supporting my channel, then head over to my Patreon. Well, I got nothing else to say, so see ya.